I am really excited. I just want to make sure everything is recording. I am excited to see what wow is going to happen this week. I don't want to take up too much time just kind of thinking about or going over what was happening last week, and I think that's something that I'm going to start incorporating because I have let go of Thursday's videos. I think I was up to like 42 videos, but I'm like, sometimes on my Tuesday videos, I'm only getting like 1 or 2 views. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's just too much information for you guys at one time or in a week. So I'm going to start breaking it down a little bit more. And maybe once we start to get a little more advanced with more views, more people a part of our tribe, then we'll go ahead and we'll up that a little bit more, and I'll start to dive into those Thursday videos again. So in the meantime, we're just going to go ahead and do the weekly forecast for now, like I said, until we can get a little traction, and then I'll go ahead and start doing those Thursday videos again. Okay, so I'm going to just jump right in. I'm going to start with AU. On AU, I mean, as you can see, I'm here now. So I left some of my previous zones on here just to kind of get an idea. I can move this. We don't have to have that there. And I can move that. Those are just some notes for myself. But I think already what you can see from the weekly is that we're right now, let me squeeze this out just a bit. Right now, it looks like what we're waiting, or this is what I'm waiting to do, or what I'm waiting to see. I'm gonna take this off here too while I'm looking at it. What I'm waiting to see is what price is going to do once it hits here. We could very well still be in a downtrend. So right now, I'm simply just waiting to see what price is going to do while it's sitting in this space. I actually want to highlight it so we can get a closer look on it. Let's see what it looks like, just right there. And then we're going to go to, what are we on? The weekly, let's go to the daily and see what's up. So it's not going to be exactly on there, but it's kind of going to give you an idea as to where I'm looking at and seeing what price is doing. Looks like price may be rejecting. Could we see a bit of consolidation in between here and here? Maybe. Could we just straight see a reversal? That's possible too. The EMA is on the bottom. So could we see it go up? Yeah, we could see it go up too. So the next thing that I would be waiting for, and this is, I feel like a robot, and I hope that this is easy to understand. And eventually, if you don't understand it now, it will become a lot easier because it's just such a repetitive process that you're kind of waiting for, although things can change in terms of like your confluence and what you're looking for to confirm that particular trade. But alongside that, it's kind of the same thing. We're waiting for a break above here. Let me get my brush tool. We're waiting for a break above. If we can, and it comes down to give us back a retest, then we'll look at this as take profit 1. Then we'll be looking at like take profit 2. And when I'm looking and going like, okay, this is take profit 1, this is take profit 2, I'm looking in the previous. So this would be take profit 1 because this is where price previously kind of rejected at in the past. I'm looking right here. This would be take profit 2 because this is again where price was previously at. So essentially, I would want to make a, I'm just trying to follow it, follow my eyes over. This will be take profit 2, and then right around here will be my take profit 3 that I would be waiting for. Keep in mind, this is on the daily. I am making notes just a little bit, but let's go ahead and let's squeeze in and get in actually on the 4 hour and see what, I know this looks freaking nuts. So let me switch this back real quick. We'll trash that guy, and then because this looks like straight, like what is this? I'm gonna just remove it real quick. All right, so and even now, like coming on the 4 hour, you can see where prices kind of rejected, touch this area and reject it. So we'll just have to see this week coming to see if it's going to give us some type of a break, whether it be above or below. So we could even put a box around it until price gives us an idea as to what it plans to do. Then that way we'll know when price break. I mean, it's sitting right at the resistance anyway, so you're probably gonna know anyway, but it's always helpful to put a box around whatever you're thinking, where price could either break from, break to, break away from, whatever the case may be. So let's go ahead. So this is what I'm looking at. I mean, I don't have any, I'm not promised anything is from where I'm looking at right now. It's again, probability game. I'm just going to be waiting to see exactly what price does. This is going to be my breakout box. We're going to wait to see what happens once it gets out, or if it just may consolidate for another couple days or so in the beginning of the week. We'll just have to see. Moving on to EU. EU is kind of going to be the same. Let's go ahead and get off to the weekly because we want to see what the weekly, like the overall, get a bigger view of what we could potentially see coming this week. So it's kind of looking the same, man. Like, I'm not convinced. This is just me moving a couple of my markings. I want to keep some of them on there. But yeah, like, I mean, price is rejecting heavy on that last candle for the last week. So we'll just have to see which way it's going to head. It could always go either way. Let's actually go into, this is the weekly, let's go to the daily, squeeze in and see what's going on. All right, so let's see. Okay, so even here, like, once price kind of got up and above this level of support here, it started to kind of reject on the downside. So I think it's a possibility that we could see this go up a bit, and maybe some consolidation. I know that that's not matching exactly what AU was doing, being with the pair, or the quote price is, or the base, the quoted price, or the quoted pair is, they usually match up. So like AU, EU, GU, they usually match up when, USD is at the end. But for this one, because I do see some rejection to the downside, with that candle sitting kind of right there left on what was the daily candle, it's kind of rejecting. It was also rejecting up here too, so we could possibly see a bit of consolidation. Grab the brush tool in between here for a little bit before we actually see a breakout. So what I'm going to do is I am going to leave the levels where they are, but I am going to use the rectangle. I want to scroll it down to the 4-hour just to give me a smaller view. And I'm going to box these just so that when time comes and price breaks, I know exactly what's going on. Right now it's a little hard to say. We are kind of holding right here, and this was kind of like a doji heading maybe closer to the upside. It's always a little more challenging when your candlesticks are black, but I will tell you it really helps in the long run so that you're not freaking out and watching your chart thinking, oh shit, well, we're going black, or we're going blue or green, whatever colors that you're using for, a bullish spike or what have you, or oh my god, we're going red for the bearish. So it's just a lot easier. It's like a psychology thing. You want to just keep your mind focused on price action rather than just the colors. So for now, I'm looking to see possibly some consolidation back and forth here on EU. Let's go ahead and move over to UJ, starting on the weekly. Let's see. So it's been an uphill battle and a lot of back and forth with UJ. I still do believe it is a strong possibility that it's going to hold at this trend line that I had previously drawn in the downward motion. Now, fingers crossed, man. If it heads down with all of this room that we have of just kind of free space with not much in terms of like it creating much of a support and resistance. I mean, It's good and it's bad. Let me tell you why. So it's good because that basically shows you how much room you have to possibly take up some, take some profit here. At the same time, if you're someone that likes to get in on a position, wait for it to get to that next space before you remove some of your profit, and you're actually moving yourself down into break even, and then from break even to into profit, and then you're making another move here to take some more of that profit, take some more of that money off the table before it decides it wants to maybe reverse. Because there's only like 2 spaces to do that, it's going to be challenging. So we're just going to have to see. We're going to have to see what happens. But what I will say on the weekly, with the EMA being on the bottom, even with the EMA being on the bottom, we could potentially see it come to the EMA and hold, or stop at the EMA as resistance, and that could hold as resistance at the EMA. So we'll just have to see. But right now, I still feel like it's bearish. I am still keeping my eye out on UJ. We just have to kind of wait and see. Let's go to the daily real quick and see what's going on. So right now, it is starting to try to move a little bit sideways, a little bit past that trend line that I had set up previously. With price on the daily being above all the price action that had happened over the last few days or whatnot, I'm still confident that it could be bearish. Let's go to the 4-hour and take a peek and see what that looks like. So yeah, right now kind of the same, and as you can tell, there's going to be a pattern, AU, GU, but this is UJ, so USD is the base pair, meaning that's interesting because they all kind of have a pattern of consolidation right now, which is fine, not a problem. We just have to wait and be patient. Yikes. We just have to wait and be patient to see what price is going to do. Like I said earlier, I'm still pretty confident, especially with the EMA being above on the 4-hour and on the daily. I'm pretty confident that this is going to continue in a bearish direction. So I will be taking a position on UJ once it opens again. I got out because I was a little bit afraid. I got out with a little bit of a profit, like $100 or something like that. But because I was like, oof, price is just all over the place, and I didn't like what it did here. So what I probably more than likely will do is my stop will be probably about right there. So then to be safe, it should probably actually be there, just to give it a little room. So that's what I'm going to be looking at. I have my eyes pretty heavily on UJ if I'm going to make an immediate move for next week. Next is GU. So GU, same thing. We're looking at some consolidation. Not sure I feel like it's going to continue in the bearish direction anymore. Let me start with the weekly though. Yeah, I don't know. When it comes to, if I'm just going based off of just the weekly, it's not looking so good. But what I do need to see is a break above here and a close in order for me to decide I want to keep continuing to go up with the bullish direction. Sorry, there's a shitload of notes on here. But that's just so I can keep my, keep my head on the swivel. So let's see. I lost a trade last week on GU because I did not scroll out. There's way more noise on the smaller charts than there is the larger charts, and because I did not get out to see which way price was going, I didn't realize it was going against me, and I actually lost a trade. So I lost a little bit of money there, but that's okay. It's all a part of the game. So based on this is giving very much doji looking in here, but it is pulling closer to the upside than it is down to the bearish side. So I would like to see, or what I feel like we could possibly see, is something to the upside. I have not checked in on any of the news as of yet, so this is purely based on technical, if that makes sense, not fundamental. So I'm just going based off of technical, what price has done in the past. It is super helpful if you use both. I have, me personally, had a hard time sometimes with fundamental. I will use it from time to time, but I know that it is super helpful when you put the two together. You can use it basically as confluence, so that you can make the right decision. Now, looking at the weekly, being that the EMA is above, I want to see what happens when price gets here. Now, that could be 5 weeks from now. That could be a whole nother 4 to 5 candles from now. So all we can basically do, because this is the that was one of the goals for the year, was to just focus on what price is doing right now, in order to get that profit a little bit earlier. So as of right now, kind of the same, looking at some consolidation. We can even go ahead and let's scroll down to the 4. Yeah. And it's been quite a bit of consolidation. So yeah, we'll just have to wait. Not too sure on this one just yet. We have to wait to see if price is going to break above here, get some close, get a close above, and then price continues. And then I'll be looking at that. Otherwise, we'll be looking at a close below this level, and then a break, close, maybe even a retest, and then a head down. So that is it. I try to keep it as short as possible today, this time. I hope that this was helpful. Have a great rest of your trading week. And like always, if there's something that you want me to go over that maybe I haven't visited before, please do not hesitate to put that shit in the description. Get after it.